Hello students, welcome to online classes of Shemstar Global School. This is Nabila Fatima. In the previous videos, we had started a chapter, the expansion of British power in India, that is chapter number 2 from history, and this video is part 8 of the same chapter. British wants to expand their territory, and for this they adopted many measures. One such measure adopted by the British was the Subsidiary Alliance, and it was said to be an indirect method of annexation. Subsidiary Alliance was introduced by Lord Wellesley. The Subsidiary Alliance was started by Governor General Lord Wellesley, and it was a very clever method developed by the British to expand British territory indirectly. Main features of Subsidiary Alliance were: any Indian ruler accepting the Subsidiary Alliance had to keep British forces within his or her territory. Under this system, the British promised to protect the Indian states by keeping their army in the ruler's territory. In return, the Indian states or Indian rulers had to make payment for their soldiers. If the ruler could not make payments, then she had to give territory to the British. If the Indian rulers failed to make payments, then she had to give his territory to the British as penalty. Next feature of Subsidiary Alliance was the British official called a resident would stay at the court of the ruler. A British official called resident was also placed at the court of the ruler. The resident was supposed to give advice to the ruler, but in reality, he interfered in the internal matters and he even dominated the ruler. Rulers gave control of their foreign affairs to the EEIC. The Indian rulers also could not maintain any relation with any of the rulers without the permission of the British. Thus, the Indian rulers lost their right of independent decision making, and even their military powers lies in the hands of the British. The last feature of Subsidiary Alliance was all non-English foreigners were expelled from the state of the ruler. Indian ruler who had signed Subsidiary Alliance with the British were not allowed to keep any non-English foreigners in his or her territory. So, after reading all these features of Subsidiary Alliance, we came to know that by Subsidiary Alliance, the British gave protection to Indian rulers, but ultimately they used to take all the rights from the king, and the ruler remained the king only for name. Real powers lies in the hands of the British. British annexed 1/3 of Indian territories by these methods only. The second policy adopted by the British was Doctrine of Lapse. This policy was initiated by Lord Dalhousie. When Lord Dalhousie came to India as the Governor General in 1848, he was determined to extend the British Empire. So, he started a policy known as Doctrine of Lapse. Under this policy, if the subsidiary ruler died without male heir, then his territory would pass into the British hands. Earlier in India, if the king does not have male heir, he generally adopts someone and coronate him as a king who would later become king of that state. But according to this policy, if the king who had signed Subsidiary Alliance with the British did not have natural male heir, then the kingdom after the death of the king would fall into the hands of EEIC administration. The adopted son cannot be a prince. This policy of Dalhousie angered a lot of Indian kings. Few kingdoms which was captured by the British under this policy was Jhansi, Nagpur, Satara, Udaipur and many others. So, by these two policies, that is subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse, or by direct wars, British were able to set their empire in India. So, by now, we came to know that British Empire emerged as the biggest political unit in the subcontinent. All the princely states were under the British hands. In the next video, we will study about the administration of the empire.